Imagine a coaching client who has spent months making steady progress toward a major leadership goal. Then, just as the final milestone comes into view, they hit an unexpected wall and tell you they want to quit. This sudden shift from momentum to intense resistance creates a confusing bottleneck. The skills and the roadmap are still there, but the client's energy for the task has vanished. Eddie Windsor's 2008 concept, the compression of the heart, identifies this mechanism. It describes the intense pressure clients encounter as they push beyond current limits. This video provides the diagnostic tools and ICF-aligned techniques needed to push a client through this specific type of pressure. Viewing this sudden stall as an inherent part of the growth process is the first step in unlocking a client's expanded capacity. The compression of the heart occurs when a client takes on larger ambitions, creating a temporary squeeze on their mental, emotional, and energetic resources. This psychological compression acts like a physical spring storing energy under a heavy load. The intensely demanding stretch, the hard, is required to build this energy. The spring must reach maximum compression. When released, this tightly coiled pressure propels the individual into an expanded state of capability. Windsor frames this deliberate confrontation with limits as a necessity, since authentic growth occurs only when an individual stretches beyond their comfort zone. This mechanical reality focuses the coach's objective on managing the client's kinetic potential. Spotting the onset of compression requires attuned presence, or ICF Competency 5, to observe subtle shifts without jumping to conclusions. The 20-40-40 holistic listening model shows how clients signal capacity limits. Listen for clipped phrases like, "it's too much," or "everything's closing in." The remaining 80% are nonverbal. Watch for physical tension, furrowed brows, or topic avoidance when stretch goals are mentioned. Mapping these holistic signals allows a coach to pinpoint the exact moment a client's ambition collides with their current limitations. Diagnosis requires care, as the healthy pain of compression can be misidentified as destructive burnout. Burnout is characterized by total exhaustion and psychological withdrawal. These clinical markers require a therapist referral. In contrast, a compressed client is still actively pursuing more and knows their next steps intellectually, even if they currently feel energetically stuck. Correctly identifying this difference allows the coach to hold the client in the growth process. Guiding a client through this phase involves a 4-part ICF-aligned intervention toolkit. Step 1 is to normalize. Briefly introduce Windsor's concept as a stabilizing, non-directive lens. This provides the client with context for their experience without directing the outcome. Step 2 uses powerful questions, or ICF Competency 6. Evocative prompts help the client safely explore the pressure they are feeling. For example, if this pressure had a voice, what would it say? Step 3 is silence and somatic awareness. Hold space through the discomfort and neutrally reflect the client's physical tension back to them, allowing their own awareness to build. Step 4 is to contract for action, following ICF Competency 2. Ask the client to define one micro-experiment to test their boundaries, such as, "What one experiment with this compression feels right for this week?" Validating the pressure without attempting to solve the problem for the client is what facilitates true expansion. In subsequent sessions, clients often report navigating the same high-pressure demands with a new sense of composure. This shift represents a permanent expansion of their personal leadership capacity as they secure a grip on a new level of performance. This is achieved by framing the spring metaphor, diagnosing holistic signals, and facilitating through non-directive questioning. Look at your current client roster and identify who is currently in the squeeze. Apply this framework in your next session to help them move forward. Mastering the compression of the hard provides a framework for forging a client's resilience during their most demanding transitions.